Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. सप्तमे अध्याये भगवतः तत्त्वं विभूतयञ्च प्रकाशिता नवमे च अथ इदानीं येषु येषु भावेषु चिन्त्यो भगवन् ते ते भावाः वक्तव्याः तत्त्वं च भगवतः वक्तव्यम् उक्तमपि दुर्विज्ञेयत्वात् इति अतः श्री भगवान् उवाच. We have seen yesterday in our introduction that one has to recognize the truth from both points of view, the manifest and the unmanifest. Unmanifest is the absolute reality and the manifest is the relative reality. And recognition of the truth from both points of view is necessary for the complete knowledge. And for that, the 7th chapter, 9th chapter have spoken of the truth from absolute point of view as well as the recognition of that absolute reality in the relative plane of experience. The recognition of the one in the many as the essence was told in the 7th and the 9th chapter. Again in this 10th chapter, Bhagavan says, नमे विदु सुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहम आदिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः. Many great devatas, mahर्षिs also do not know me because I am not an object of knowledge. In this manner, he who knows me. That means when our spiritual search stops being objective and starts being subjective, they alone will be liberated from the sins of relative existence. Yo mam ajam anadim chavetti, he who knows me unborn and without beginning, and also tathacha lokamaheshwaram vetti, and also knows that I am the presiding factor over all the experiences. Loka Maheshwara. Which are the experiences? See what happens. Loka, when we say, like Mrityu Lok. From here the understanding develops. World of mortals. What we have understood? Like in this world, there are human beings, animals, plants. There is prosperity, poverty, the fights, appreciation, love, hatred. In the same way, when we think about the heaven, the Svargalok, what we imagine? Better than this. So better than this means the same thing but better. So there will be also human beings. But what is the human beings of the mortals? They become old. There na tatratvam na jaraya viveti. There people don't become old. Svarga. In Mrityulok you have to pay for everything. There you don't have to pay for anything. Second one. The third one. Here we are all the time tortured because of the hunger and thirst. And there na ashana pipase svargalok. In short, our understanding of the different lokas is based on our understanding of the world of mortals. This is the basis. That is what I mean. Now, for example, when we use the word mother, what comes in front of us? Mother means an abode of love, sacrifice, etc. And with this understanding we tell, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. So once when I was explaining this, one lady, a young married lady, she came and she said, Swamiji, I want to talk to you something. So you start. No, not before everybody, separately. I said, okay, separately start. And her question was, you tell us to respect the mother as God, but I cannot accept it. I said, don't accept. No, you should not tell like this to everybody. I said, what I should do, you should not tell me. I'll do whatever I have to do. You do whatever you like. No, you people create confusion. I said, what confusion? When you say love the mother as God, but that mother must be worthy of loving like a God. How can I love her? She is such a terrible thing. And then she told her about her mother. And when she told her about her mother, it is really, there cannot be a more criminal person than her mother. And she had done that crime against her own daughter. So what I want to say, bring the main attention to the point. When we use the word mother, we have got some foundation on which we start thinking. Is it not? So when we say Loka Maheshwaram, when we say the word Loka, so Loka means whatever we have understood here. Martya Loka, Swarga Loka, Indra Loka, etc. But that is not the ultimate meaning. Then what is the Loka? Loka means the field of experience. Without experience, the world cannot exist. See? Swapna Loka. So, Loka means field of experience. And when Bhagavan says, Loka Maheshwaram, he who knows me as the presiding factor over all the experiences. So, all the lokas, which are the experiences are the lokas? Jagra, Sapna, Sushupti. This is how Bhagavan has commented here. Mahantam Ishwaram Turyam Ajnana Tat Karyavarjitam. So here, Loka Maheshwara means this Turiya Tattva, which is supporting all the three areas of experience. Such a person is Asammudaha. He is Asammudaha means what? He is no more influenced by the relative experiences. What are the relative experiences? In the waking experience, we become the waker, husband, wife, rich, poor, man, woman, and suffer. In the dream, we do the same thing, repeat. And in the deep sleep, temporarily we switch off. Till that switch off is there is a peace. But you can't continue that also for long. Then again we get into the waking. In this manner, all these three experiences come and go, but that one reality, Turiya Tattva, is not influenced. In this manner, he who recognizes me. Now be very attentive. Like I told you, your and my waking world is different. We understand that. Your world is where you have to study, learn, be disciplined. And my world is I run around the whole world. Your world is you have to stay in the ashram, you cannot go outside. My world is I cannot stay in the ashram, I go outside. Your world is you get simple food without any spices and all kinds of things. My tragedy is that I have to eat all kinds of horrible food. Our worlds are, waking worlds are different. Then our dreams are different. Isn't it? My dream is Samapatti means what? That is my dream. Isn't it? And your dream is, why don't they give achar? Why don't they give sweet dish? If nothing, at least few chocolates after the lunch. That is your dream. So our dreams are different, our waking experiences are different, but when we come to the deep sleep, our deep sleeps are not different. One. Because there is no sense of otherness. And go one step further. So that substratum which is supporting the deep sleep, if the deep sleep experience is one, can that substratum Turiya Tattva be separate from person to person? It cannot be. This is the meaning. Asammohaha. And when this is not understood, then what will happen? I am a separate Purusha, you are a separate Purusha, I am the separate one, you are the separate one. Although we are Chaitanya Swarupa, Asanga, and yet we are separate. See? It is something like what you know. In this glass there is a water, 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 and there are 4 waters. Arey Baba, water is only one. Conditionings are 4. So, asammudasya marateshu, among the mortals he is really a wise one, who is able to transcend the relative existence and come to recognize the one undividing reality supporting all the relative existence. And when we recognize this as our essential self, then what will happen? Sarva papai pramuchyate. What are the sins? Sins are, I am a waker, I am separate from others, and therefore all the avidya kama karma continues. The same thing is repeated in the dream. This is also worth noting. We never dream the dream as a dream. We dream the dream as a waking experience, solid waking experience. Only after waking up we see it was a dream. In the same manner, from this waking dream, when we wake up, we come to know this is also a dream. See? So, asammudasya maradeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. Like when we have done some sin in our dream and we wake up, all the sins of the dream are not carried in the waking. In the same manner, when we come to realize our essential absolute self, then all the tragedies of the ego, they disappear because they have no existence. See how important it is. A car cannot be moved only by the petrol. A car cannot be moved only by the engine. When the petrol and the engine come together under a particular condition, horsepower is born. This horsepower makes the car move. Now when the moving car goes and dashes somewhere and kills somebody, can we say that the horsepower is to be punished? And even if you say, can you find out where is the horsepower to punish? See? Try to find out the jiva, the ego, whom you want to punish for the sin and demerit. Therefore, the real papa is this. And because of this papa, we become miserable. So, sarva papai pramuchyate. After having said this, now from itahacha aham maheshwaro lokanam, because I am the source of all the experiences, and therefore everything is bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva pratakvidaha. So from me only the different expressions of the beings are possible. Now see, it is the same mind in the dream which is expressing as the space, The same mind is expressing as the water, as the fire, as the earth, etc. It is the same mind which is projecting as the different people. It is the same mind which is projecting as the different climate. It is the same mind which is projecting as the friendship and enmity. Same mind into everything. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivot bhutam yatha nidraya yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanamevadvayam tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. That is the foundation of all the knowledge. So, everything is born of me. What is that which is born of you? First, buddhi. Second, jnanam. We have seen this thing yesterday. Third is asammohaha. Asammohaha is viveka purvika pravritti. Then kshama, forgiveness, satyam, yatha drishtasya, yatha shrutasya cha atmanubhavasya parabuddhi sankrantaye tatha eva uccharyamana vak satyam uchyate. So whatever is our experience, whatever we have seen, heard, the same kind of experience and understanding, when our words are able to create in the mind of the listener, then it is called as the satyavak. Up to here, then damaha, bahyendriyanam upashamaha. See? When our senses are going outward, they get lost in the objects. So eyes, the vision goes out and get lost, settles there. But when there is nothing to see for the eyes, where do they go? That means when there is a control over sense organs, as in case of the Dhamma, Bahyendriyanam upashamaha. So where do they go back? They go back to the same reality. That is called as Shama. And Dhamma, then Shamaha antakkaranasya uparamaha. And antakkaran, the mind, when it is objective, it goes away from the self. When it is non-objective, it comes back to the self. Because the mind and the self, they are not two. Self with the thoughts is the mind, and mind without the thoughts is the self. Shamaha antakkaranasya upashamaha. And then sukham allhadaha. The happiness is also an expression of the same reality. Okay, good. Dukkham santapaha. Misery is also possible only because of this absolute reality. See, bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva prathak vidha. It is something like, this. Electricity is telling, bhavanti bhava gadgetanam matta eva prathak vidha. So if the gadget is a bulb, light. If the gadget is a fuse tube light, no light. If the gadget is a fridge, the cold. If the gadget is a heater, the heat. If the gadget is a radio, a noise. So the same electrical energy is making all these manifestations possible. And where are these manifestations coming from? From the conditioning. Meaning, all the modifications which are seen and existing in the Prakriti, all these Prakritic modifications are possible only when blessed with the light of consciousness. Not otherwise. Therefore, a dead body does not have the happiness and joy or the misery. So, dukkham santapaha matta eva, from me alone. Bhavaha udbhavaha, abhavaha tadviparreha. Similarly, bhava, the manifestation, abhava, the unmanifestation. That also is possible because of me. Like, when we switch on the car engine, the horsepower is manifest. When we switch off, again it is unmanifest. So where it is coming and going, both are possible because of me alone. And in this manner, bhayam cha trasaha, abhayam cha tadviparitam. The fear is also possible because of my presence. A dead body is never afraid. And abhayam, and similarly fearlessness is also possible because of this one reality. Further, ahimsa is non-injury. Ahimsa apida praninam, not hurting anybody. We hurt at 3 levels. One is by the body, kayena. Second is vachasa, by the speech, or manasa. So kayena, vacha, manasendriyerva. Whatever I have done, O Lord, please forgive me. Therefore, ahimsa at any level should be practiced. No himsa, no injury to anyone. Then samata, samachittata. Samachittata is equanimity. That means the modifications in the mind have been erased and the mind has now become free from any impressions. Therefore, it has become now smriti parishuddhau. When the smriti is totally erased, then you get the nirvichara samapattihi. So this nirvichara samapattihi, samata is also because of me. Then tushtihi, santoshaha parjapta buddhihi labheshu. Santosha is contentment with whatever we have. And I tell you, this contentment is the real foundation of life. But hardly anybody is able to recognize this. Our Patanjali will tell us that santoshat anuttama labha. With the santosha contentment, we get the highest bliss. There is no anuttama sukha labha. There is no superior experience than the contentment. See, when I was coming, those laborers who come from there going this way. There is one laborer. Whenever he comes, he does namaskar and talks. I also talk to him. Every time I ask him, I said, hey, how are you? Oh, ekdam badhiya, excellent. See? A person who has this contentment, he is happy everywhere, anywhere, and nothing to complain. And this is what ultimately matters in life. And when you are thus absolutely content with whatever we have, are you not the same reality? Because Parabrahma Paramatma is content being in the pig, being in the human being, being in a saint, being in a criminal. So contentment is non-expectation of any change anywhere is called as contentment. Thevile anante taishechi rahave chitti asudave samadhana. Contentment is samadhana. Samyak adhanam. We have placed ourselves in the right place. Santosha. Then tapaha indriya sayyama purvakam sharira pidanam. And who can have the contentment? He who is able to go through the difficulties of life with a smile on the face. And who can do this? He who has got his understanding. Jagi sarvasukhi asakona ahe. In this world there is not a single person who doesn't have problems. If you have problem, very good. You belong to the general category. If you don't have problem, then you are a dead body. In Panchadashi we have seen diseases, vyadhi, is a sign of life. A dead body doesn't have a cancer. A dead body doesn't have diarrhea. A dead body doesn't have honor or dishonor. A dead body doesn't have depression. Imagine a dead body depressed, how it will be like that. Therefore, tapaha, to attain the santushti, tushti, santosh, contentment, the requirement is the ability and the readiness to go through the difficulties of life with a smile on the face. And then danam. Danam is what? Danam yatha shakti samvibhagaha. Now see the use of word by Bhagavan Shankara. When he says danam means sharing with what you have. That is called a danam. Danam is not giving somebody out of compassion, charity. Charity is the wrong translation of danam. Danam is sharing with what you have. When you share, it means different. And when you give somebody in charity, it means different. The attitude changes. In charity, we have the notion that I am benefiting other one. Second thing, what I am giving is extremely useful to them, not to me. See? And in sharing, let us enjoy it together. That is the difference. So it is something like, we go somewhere for a picnic and we have got some servant with us. So what we do? This is normally seen in the North India. There they treat the servants so badly. In their house everything is there, but the servant will be sleeping on the floor in a corner. They will not give him even a bed. And then they will be eating very good, but the servants will be given in the useless plate, not even a proper plate, and only the leftover. So that is, anyway, they don't get even this thing to eat at home. Once in somebody's house I was there. So when I looked at that servant, I felt so bad. So I said, why don't you give something proper for him to sleep? He's working whole day. Swamiji, they don't get even this much in their house. So as if they are giving, they are going great in a favor. And when there is a sharing, whatever we are having, the same thing is given. That is the difference. Therefore, danam is, charity is a wrong translation. So, danam yatha shakti samvibhagaha, share whatever best you can do in your life. Then yashaha dharma nimitta kirtihi. Those who are leading the life of righteousness, they are called as dharmatma, dharma dhurandhar, karodimal, chadamimal, dharma dhurandhar. Why? He has given some money for constructing my tomb. Therefore, dharma nimitta kirtihi yashaha, ayashaha tu adharmi nimitta akirti. And when somebody is not leading a righteous life, he is blamed in this world. Now, all these good and bad things, now see, the total now come to this. These are all the expression of life. See, buddhi, jnanam, asammoha, kshama, satyam, damashamaha, all of them, ahimsa, samata, tushti, tapaha, danam, these are all the positive expressions of life. Then there are expressions which are not only positive, but they can be opposites also. For example, it is sukham, dukkham. Then bhava, abhava, manifestation, unmanifestation, bhayam cha, abhayam cha, the fear and fearlessness, yashaha, ayashaha, the glory and the condemnation. Means what? These are all the few of the possible expressions of life. Now Bhagavan says, all these things are possible because of me. Means what? In the 10th, we are in the 10th chapter. Here Bhagavan will tell at the end, Yad Yad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam Srimat Urjitam Eva Va Tatta Devava Gachatvam Mama Amsha Sambhavam. Whenever, wherever you see something great, recognize my presence there. See? How simple. But the problem is we don't want to see greatness in others, and therefore we don't see the divine in anywhere. See? I'll give an example about this, what it means. See, reverence or respecting others. That's one example. See how it takes you to their own real self. When we respect others, where is the respect? It is in our heart, is it not? It is in our heart. If the money is in my pocket, I will be rich. If the money is in your pocket, you will be rich. So if the respect is in my heart, in my mind, who will be benefited by that respectful attitude? Me. Not the one to whom respect is given. How simple it is. And therefore, if our life is conducted with this one single principle, let us respect everybody by finding out an excuse why he deserves respect. Not the other way around. Other way around is what? How we can insult somebody, how we can pull him down. That is not the right way of spiritual life. So what are the criteria which can create respect in our mind about everything in this world? Somebody is elder than us by age, he may be not intelligent, may not be educated, may not be rich, may not be physically powerful, yet he is elder than us. So an elderly person deserves respect. Doesn't matter who is he or she, that is not the criteria. This respectful attitude will take you nearer to yourself. Doesn't it happen? When we are in front of the Lord in the temple and we have tremendous respect for the Lord, that time the experience that we have, the experience of Kritakrityascha Bharata, I feel so happy, after so many years I could go to Badrinath and take the darshan of the Lord. That bliss, that happiness when we stand in front of the Lord Badrinath comes only because we have respect, reverence for that Badrinath. Those who are staying there all the time, they don't even visit that temple. Their attention is only on which are the devotees coming and how you can cut their pockets, that's it. Therefore, what is important in life is the respectful attitude. Now we find out this excuse, the second excuse we find out. Somebody is superior than us as regard the money is concerned. So he deserves respect. Third, somebody is superior than us by the followers. See? He who is able to motivate a mass of people, doesn't matter fool or wise, he definitely has something great in him. He deserves respect, no disrespect. And somebody is senior, better, superior than us in the field of knowledge, wisdom, then he deserves respect. Now, the last one. If we are able to see this verse, Bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva prathak vidaha. Every expression that we see in this world is possible because of the divine presence. So when every expression in the world is reminding us of the divine presence, we are already in meditation. See? Therefore, bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva prathak vidaha. So the same consciousness is expressing as poison in the cobra. The same consciousness is expressing as a milk in the cow. So from the consciousness point of view, there is no difference. It is the same consciousness it is the same earth principle which is expressing as a sweetness in the mango. It is the same principle of earth, Prithvi, which is expressing as the tastelessness in the watermelon. Same thing. It's not different. In the same manner, bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pratak vidha. See, these two verses are the real support by which you can carry them with you, and wherever you are, always remember that every expression, behind every expression, it is the same reality which is our essential self. Now this one, now go back to Kenopanishad. What is said in Kenopanishad? Pratibodha viditam matam. Every experience is the storehouse of divinity. Pratibodha, every experience. And which are the experiences? This buddhi, jnanam, asam, mokshama, satyam, damashama, bhavanti bhava bhutanam. These are the different expressions of the same reality. Therefore, what is the expression is less important, but who is expressing is more important. See? Like, sometime you must have experienced that somebody comes from backside and gives you a hard one. Arey ya, you get so angry, who is this rascal? And then you find out he is your childhood friend whom you are meeting after 40 years. The moment you recognize that the one who gave you a hit from backside is your near and dear, all your anger, pain, everything disappears. In the same manner, when every interaction from the world reminds you of the divinity, you will never react. You will respond with reverence. This is the purpose of this 10th chapter. Therefore, bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva pratak vidha. So, bhavanti bhava yathokta buddhyadaya bhutanam pranina matta eva ishvara pratak vidha nana vidha swakarma anurupena. Now, why there is so much of difference in this world? Because of the principle of karma. So, who is to punish whom? Their karma are punishing them. Why we should punish anybody? We don't have to punish anybody. Then what? We only see divinity in everybody. Somebody is bad, so we are not appointed to give a judgment to punish somebody. No. Ours is a spiritual path. In this manner, everybody is moving in this world with his own karma phala, but all those karma phalas are possible only in the divine light, not otherwise. Continuing this thought further, 6th verse, Maharshaya sapta purve Chatvaro manavastatha Madbhava manasa jataha Yesham loka ima prajaha. Maharshaya sapta bhrugvadaya Bhrugu, Marichi, Atri, Pulasya, Pulaha, Kratu, Vasishta. These are the 7 rishis. So Maharshaya sapta purve atita kala sambandhinaha. In the earlier times, these 7 Maharshis, Maharshaya sapta purve, Chatvaraha manavaha. And so also the Manus. In fact, there are 14 Manus. But these 4 are referred here with the same name, Savarni, Dharma Savarni, Daksha Savarni and Savarna. So these 4 Manus, Tatha Savarna iti prasiddhaha. Techa madbhava madgata bhavana vaishnavena samarthena upeta. Now all these 7 Maharshis and the Chatur Manus, by getting the power, ability, energy from me, Vaishnavena samarthena upeta, manasa eva utpadita maya jata utpanna yesham manunam maharshinam cha srishti. So how these rishis and the manus are able to create this whole world? So they are able to create this whole world because of the power, energy, strength, knowledge, wisdom they got from me. So in this manner, Srishti Loke Imaj Sthavar Jangama Prajaha. Now see, Paramatma is that supreme reality which is expressing first at a causal level, and then from the cause effects have come out. So which are the effects? Buddhi, Jnanam, Asammoham, Kshama, Satyam, Damasamaha, Sukham, Dukkham, Bhavo, Bhava, Bhayam cha, Bhayam evacha, Ahimsa, Samata, Tushti, Tapo, Danam, Yasho, Yasha. These are the effects. What is the cause? Cause is Maharshaya Sapta Purve Chatvaro Manavastatha. So these Karanatmaka Devatas, they have created this world. And how they created this world? They also created this world by borrowing the samarthya, the prowess from me alone. And in this manner, the karya karana is superimposed on me, the absolute reality. So what is meant in these 2 verses, 3 verses is, we have to recognize that both the karya and the karana, they are mutually dependent variables. The father is a father because of the son, and the son is the son because of the father. So the father and the son relationship is mutually dependent. Father is the cause, son is the effect. Now, as a result, the son must respect the father because the cause must be respected by the son. And the father also must have compassion, love, understanding toward the son because it is his own creation. What will happen as a result? Relationship will be wonderful. But there is third option. What is that? Both cause and effect are illusion. They are mutually dependent. Then the son should not respect his father alone, but he should respect everyone. See the difference? And the father should not love, forgive, understand only his son, but all the children. Then what has happened? He has transcended the limitations of relative existence and come to the absolute. This is what Bhagavan Krishna told us. Name dveshosti na priyaha samoham sarva bhuteshu. So Maharshaya Sapta Purve Chatvaro Manavastatha Madbhava Manasa Jata Yesham Lokaima Prajaha. So in this manner, Karya Karanatmika Praja, Karya Karanatmakam Jagat is superimposed on me, the absolute. Now we go further. When I know that the east and the west are nothing but the space, and it is the space alone which is real, not the east and west. One day I was flying somewhere, very long flight, 12 hours flight, almost 11 hours 40 minutes. Such a boring when you keep on sitting. So that time there was one person, he came and spoke to me, Swamiji, can you sleep in the flight? I said, yes, I can sleep anywhere. As you can sleep in the lecture, only there I cannot sleep, but otherwise I can sleep. He said, no, I was having a problem. You please tell me, what is that? He said, when I am sleeping, I am just thinking whether my feet are facing to the south. And if I sleep with my feet facing to the south, what will happen? I said, here you decide which is the south. Which side is your feet? That side is not south, sleep. But is it not cheating? I said, no, it is not cheating, it is wisdom. What is the wisdom? That which makes you cool is wisdom. That makes you agitated is foolishness. Do you mean our scripture? I said, look here, I am not here to justify anything. If you want to sleep, you sleep. If you don't want to sleep, don't sleep. Don't disturb me. I am pretty happy with myself. Once you go beyond the cause and effect, relativity will never bother you. See? One way we talk about Mayyeva sakalam jatam, Mayi sarvam pradishtitam, Mayi sarvam layam yati, Tad brahma advayam asmeham. Shani stone, Mangala stone, Buddha stone, and all the stones are put on the big stone. See? What is the use of studying when it is not applied in life? Therefore, Bhagavan is telling in these few verses, recognize me as the unmanifest absolute reality and also understand the relativity is nothing but my expression. But don't get caught up in relativity. When we get caught up in relativity, we forget the absolute. See? And when we forget the absolute, nobody can help us. So what is to be done? Live in the relativity, but don't forget the absolute. And this is what is the message of this 10th chapter. Etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo vetti tattvataha so vikampena yogena yujjate natra samshayah. Etam yathoktam vibhutim vistaram. Etam means buddhi jnanam asammoha ahimsa samata tushti maharshaya sapta purve chatvaro manavastatha. Etam vibhutim. This expansion of me, the absolute, to the relative. See? Etam vibhutim. And yogam cha. Yogam cha is, although multiplicity has appeared and yet the non-duality is never lost. See? Now be very attentive. When the water is expressing as ocean and wave, cause and effect is the manifestation. But in this cause and effect relationship, ocean the cause, wave the effect, in this relationship, is water lost anywhere? No. And at the same time, there is a joy to go for a nice boat ride in the ocean and surf on the waves. Nothing wrong in that. In the same manner, hook on yourself to the absolute Turiya Tattva that we are. Hook on to that absolute reality. And thereafter, play the game of life. See? That is why all our spiritual practice is only understanding this. The whole life is nothing but a big drama eternally going on, and everybody is watching, but nobody is seeing. This is what the message of Bhagavad Gita is going on. Mamaka Pandavashaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. This thing, that thing, my son, my daughter, and in creating relations and destroying relations. And he will do this, Hare Ram, Ram, Ram. And in that we get so much lost. And in that we forget the original reality. Therefore, Bhagavan is making this very clear point. Etam vibhutim and yogam cha. Yo mama tatvataha vetti. Tatvataha, by being one with the reality. Not intellectually. See, it is something like this, We have some work with a minister, for example. So what we will do? We will go to the minister with some fruits, flowers, gifts, a suitcase, depending upon the puja vidhi of that minister. We will go there. And when you go there, that minister has got a useless dog. And you just don't like dogs. But you have gone to the minister and the dog comes and receives you. Then you start talking the dogayana, the glory of the dog. How beautiful, it looks to be thoroughbred, Is he your son? He is so nice, he is so great. Why we are praising this dog? Because the dog is the glory of the minister. If you want to get any work done from the owner of the dog, approach the owner through the dog. That is the rule. So, when the dog, which is the glory of that minister, is propitiated, appreciated, if you want benefit from the minister, in the same manner, the whole world is his glory, his vibhuti, his expanse. And if we want to recognize him, the absolute, you cannot recognize the absolute by disrespecting the relative. See how important it is. So, etam vibhutim yogam cha mama yo veti tatvataha. So, tatvataha veti means what? Knowing very well that I am a man and after my marriage with my wife I have become a husband, but I am not an eternal husband. It is just a conditioning imposed on me, and therefore I play the role of a husband. When you play the role of a husband, you will never be miserable. And when you take that husbandhood as really real, then you are gone throughout life. See? And when he who has understood this, he will never be miserable because of wife. Because he will never take her seriously. Okay. Oh, go ahead. Life is to be lived, not to be entangled in one or two experiences and creating enmity and friendship. But when this is not understood, we get totally lost. Therefore, etam vibhutim yogam cha moyo veti tatvataha. What happens to him? He who has thus started living as the absolute through the relative. See? When you live as an absolute, you are purnamadaha purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate. When you live as an absolute, you cannot have wrong identity. Therefore, you cannot have the sense of limitation. Therefore, you cannot have the desire. Therefore, you cannot have the karma struggle in your life. If you live as the absolute consciousness. Then how the life is to be lived? Live it as a drama. What is the drama? In this relative world when we are living, we have some obligations for everybody around us. So fulfill your duties. But don't get entangled in such a manner as if this is only thing, nothing beyond that. Therefore, he who is thus living, then what happens? Saha avikampena yogena yujjate. So, saha avikampena yogena aprachalitena. Aprachalita is never shaken thereafter. You know what is the shaking? Shaking is, we imagine that I am here for eternity. Everyone imagines. And when people die, we discuss about, see, such a bad thing to see in that Tata hospital. Small children are having cancer, and it is so painful to see them. And when we go there, we imagine we are here for eternity. And therefore all the miseries begin. So once this is clearly known, that Prakriti will have Vikriti. Whenever there is a group of people staying together, whosoever they may be, there is bound to be misunderstanding. These are the basic rules of life. That is why the Guru, worth his name, never misunderstands his disciple, because he is never living at the relative existence, although he is expressing through the relativity. How important. The other day, one person came and said, Swamiji, I have come to extend my apologies and seek forgiveness from you. I said, what happened? Do you remember in Delhi, this and this thing has happened when you were there, and I was holding grudge against you? I said, very good, you have come. I don't even remember who you are. First of all, introduce yourself. No, remember it was there, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. I said, you are still carrying that load on your mind. Do you think I have taken you seriously even once? As you don't take me seriously when I talk Vedanta. Why should I take you seriously when you talk Vedanta? Whole life becomes a fun. Therefore, saha avikampena aprachalitena yogena. He is never shaken thereafter. And what is the meaning of avikampa yoga? Avikampa yoga means dukkheshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spruha vitaraga bhayakrodha titadirmuniruchyate. Nothing will create kampana in you. See? Saha bhuvaha. Remember? Shvasa prashvasa. So there will be nothing that can ever disturb you. Can we say that the water is disturbed in the ocean and enjoys in the waves? No. Because water is independent of the ocean and the wave. In the same manner, he who has recognized his absolute identity with the truth, he will never be influenced by the relative world. So, go back to chapter number 6, verse number 7. What Bhagavan told us there? Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanayoho. This is the avikampa yoga. Paramatma samahitaha. He has just almost touched the Lord. Who? Shitoshna sukhadukkeshu jitatmanaha. He whose mind is undisturbed because of the relative existence. Because mind alone is the supporter of the relative existence. So how can the support be influenced by the supported? And tatha manapamanayoho prashantasya. And the mana, apaman, honor, dishonor, where it is? It is in our own imagination. We only imagine that if this is done, this is respect, and if this is done, that is insult. Actually, it is neither respect nor insult. The other day, somebody came here for the first time, and he has seen me earlier also. I said, come, we'll have food. And when you are taking food, so as usual, I went, took my plate. I said, you take your plate, eat whatever you like. And I went in. And after food, everything was over. Again, I took my plate, put there, we went back. He said, Swamiji, I am shocked. I said, don't touch, electrical points may be loose. No. Here you go yourself and take the plate and take the food. They don't give you respect. See? Our own imagination. Similarly, the other place I went, I told you probably last time. There was another Mahatma who came for inauguration of my lectures. So he came with all the paraphernalia. Somebody with that Rajadanda in front of him. One man walking with the Rajadanda. The other one like that, and this Mahatma walking in between. And when he has to sit there, first of all they'll put the asana and then do the puja of that thing, and then he'll come and sit over there and everything all like that. And our tradition is go straight away, sit and start. So, Swamiji, you should also have like this. Why? No, it is nice. We must give you respect. I say, who stopped you? Give respect. But remember, by your giving respect, I don't become great. And by your disrespecting, I don't become small. Manapamanayoho prashantasya paramatma samahitaha. The same thing is here. Saha avikampena yogena yujjate. Yogena samyak darshana sthairya lakshanena. See, what is the avikampa yoga? Samyak darshana sthairya. Samyak darshana is by correct understanding and a perfect experience of the Absolute. Because of this, there is sthairya, there is unshaken experience. Lakshana, this is the Lakshana, this is the way this sadhaka is established in Avikampa Yoga. Saha Avikampena aprachalitena yogena samyak darshana sthair lakshanena yujjate sambadhyate. Na atra samshayo, na asmin arthe samshaya asti. There is no doubt about this. That means those who have lived this life and through the grace of the Lord, their own efforts, their self-discipline, have discovered the secret of existence. And what is the secret of existence? The Absolute is expressing always as the relative. And in the relative, there is bound to be multiplicity. If we get lost in the multiplicity, we will lose our contact with the Absolute. Losing our contact with the Absolute is the highest loss. Therefore, let us understand and be firmly abiding in the Absolute, and thereafter play the game of life, which is the relative existence. In this manner, he who lives, he will never be shaken. This is called as na samshayaha. Don't doubt about it. It is the truth. Now, kidrushena avikampena yogena yujjate iti uchyate. Now, what is the meaning of this avikampa yoga? Exactly what happens? Does it mean that even if there is a malaria, he will not shake? Why? Avikampa yoga. Or does it mean that when he is going in a car and he has a cup of tea in his hand, because of avikampa yoga, nothing will move, including the car? No. Then what is the meaning of the avikampa yoga? 8th verse. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Aham param brahma vasudevakyam. Aham, the Parabrahma called as Vasudeva, Sarvasya Jagataha, of the whole world, Prabhavaha Utpatti, the birth, Mattaha eva sthiti nasha kriya phalopa bhoga lakshanam vikriya rupam sarvam jagat pravartate. And it is because of me alone. Who is this me? Sthiti nasha kriya phalabhoga lakshanam vikriya rupam. This constantly changing world, which is bound by the law of karma, and therefore all the bhogas of the beings are based on this law of karma. This whole world, maya eva pravartate, is revolving, existing because of me. Iti matva, thus recognizing me, mam bhajante sevante. So they see me as the foundation on which all the changes are existing. And therefore, iti matva mam bhajante. So, as we have respected and loved the dog of the minister, if you go and talk one or two good words about the child, the mother is extremely happy. Swamiji is so good, you know why? Because he has spoken good about the child. Therefore, iti matva bhajante mam. When we are able to see that all the changes are possible because of the unchanging reality, all the multiplicity is supported by the non-dual reality, and therefore this one principle behind the manyness, iti matva. In this manner, he who recognizes, after recognition what will happen? Bhajante mam, you are bound to serve. See? You know, this happens how? I'll tell you one example. One day I went to Rajasthan, Jodhpur, and from Jodhpur somewhere. So up to Jodhpur I went by flight, and from there somebody came to take me to some function, Gita function, and hardly anybody knew me there. So I was going by the car, and then Swamiji, you take rest here. And there is nothing to rest, just a kind of a bench without anything. You take rest here and we'll come back. And they went to their house comfortably. I was, getting roasted in the heat in that some kind of unknown place. And after that, Swami will take food or what? I said, yes, I eat also. I don't suffer without food. Then whatever food they gave, that I ate. And thereafter we went to that place. And I was so exhausted, tired. I said, don't disturb me, let me sleep only. When the lecture is there, then you wake me up. So, okay. Again I slept. And evening lecture was there 6 o'clock, so they came at 5:30. I said, very good. I'll finish my bath and get ready and come. So I went for the lecture. After I went for the lecture, about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, I spoke on Gita, whatever, I don't remember. After that lecture was over, then the whole crowd of hundreds and thousands of people, they'll come, Swamiji, should we get something for you? Swamiji. Now where from that has come? They have recognized something in the same manner. When we recognize the divinity in this world, we are bound to serve the world. See? We will not change the world. We will serve the world. Whenever we want to change the world, we don't see the divinity. When we serve the world, we see the divinity. Therefore, aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So buddhaha mam bhajante. So the wise people, avagata tattvarthaha, those who have recognized the truth. Avagata, recognition, knowing. Tattvartha, the absolute with the relative also. Bhava samanvitaha, bhavo bhavana paramartha tattva viniveshaha, tena samanvitaha. So they are able to recognize the divine presence in the total relative world because they are established in the absolute. Tena sayukta ityartaha. There are one or two more points of this verse we'll take in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.